Welcome to Global Morning.
The death toll from flooding.
Most time our politicians just bring in policies too, for sure.
Incidentally, we have several more stories.
The legislature was carefully crafted to
22.2% inflation rate as of April this year. What does that say about where we are as a country?
I think Nigeria has resorted to being resilient.
Before you call a police station, before they even leave, they'll take permission from
I don't think there's really anything on ground to improve.
the struggle, the ASU strike.
You have done your work, you have put us to the wall. We are not your slaves.
I'm not a small boy. You should have given me the report.
I have not seen the report.
Good morning and welcome to Africa's finest breakfast show, Global Morning on Global Television. My name is Anthony Momodi and I'm ready to give you the very best, but I'm not alone. You know, we do it in pairs and we're Africa's finest pair. Good morning, Jumai.
Good morning, Anthony. How are you doing today?
Amazing, looking great.
Great.
And today is a very important day.
Yes, it is. International Solidarity Day, of course, in the UN calendar to promote peace, pact, and unity amongst us in governance and all of that combined.
True, and it makes her today truly special. And you can see her in a very beautiful color. So you go out there and make sure you do everything to ensure that there's unity in diversity. That's why in Nigeria we have so many languages.
Oh, yes.
As many as 774 local government areas, 36 states, and loads of tribes and languages. How many languages can you speak?
Well, for me, I think I'm good with 5.
Jeez.
Yeah,
5.
I'm good with 5. I think I know Yoruba, Hausa, Edo, a bit of Benue,
Oh boy.
a little bit of Kogi.
All right, I think I'm the best. I'm very good at just one English language.
Oh, English, that's it, okay.
All right, I can barely do like just 2 maximum, a little bit of Hausa. Like I just know the tough part of the Hausa, Nakwana, Nasonki. Those kind of little things I can say. A little bit of Spanish, that's
What?
some. But that's what the United Nations says. We are diverse, but we should be united, and we should promote it. We should have debates towards that direction. I think that's one of the reasons why we have so much wars in the world, because there's no unity.
Yes, and people need to understand that there's unity in diversity. You're different. You have different cultures, different morals. But when you come together, you set all of those things aside and try to make things work. That's why that peace pact is very important. And that's why the UN has made this particular day, Human Solidarity Day, which is very, very important. It's like a remembrance for us to know that there is unity in diversity.
And truly, and especially for Nigerians who most times you hear people say, I'm from the south, I'm from the north. It doesn't really matter.
No.
It means because we are from different places, it makes us stronger. And I think that's why we have the Nigerian spirit.
Yes.
That's why we're very resilient. When it comes to sport, we're amazing. Comes to movies, we're amazing.
Yes.
And when it comes to food, I know you've got some skills too.
Of course. And the thing about it is that oneness when it comes to being spirited as Nigerians or Africans. When you travel abroad, when you see a fellow Nigerian in the airport, oh, my brother, come, let's eat here. It's better to eat here. It's better to go
extra
here.
Nice.
It's extra nice because we always remember that we are all one. It's just unfortunate that we have wars going on, but that shouldn't stop us.
It's quite very true. For example, I know when it comes to Nigeria, Ghana, there's this heavy rivalry in terms of jollof rice and in football. But guess what? Fast forward when I was in Vietnam, I met 2 Ghanaians, and before I got stable, like we say, hunger wanted to kill me. I'll go to Ghanaian's room, I'll eat, and there was this meal they usually make, Ghanaian meal, I would eat with them. Usually it's something I wouldn't have eaten before, but there was this camaraderie when we see out there as blacks, and there's this warmness, this kindness, so it felt really nice. So I think United Nations spot on 20th of December every year, and if you look at the fact that 5 days from now, it's going to be... Ooh.
I'm telling you,
Perfect.
festivity, everyone, you go to the marketplace and everywhere is packed. People are shopping, trying to make nice dishes, trying to get attires, children,
too.
little kids who are excited about their Christmas clothing. I tried to book an appointment yesterday and Auntie Danati was like, oh no, it's packed, you can't come. I was like, okay, what's going on? Everyone is excited. There's so much excitement and celebration in the air. Despite it all, we still have cause to celebrate, and that's a good thing.
Amazing, amazing. So we ask you to join the rest of the world. Today's International Day of, the World. And United Nations says we should do that, come together as one. We should promote debate on ways to also eradicate poverty, which is one of the goals of today. And it's very key, especially looking at the situation of the world.
Yes, and that focus should be towards the governance. It's very important the government come into play when it comes to eradicating poverty. They have a lot of work to do. They have a lot of empowerment, entrepreneurship programs to start, which is very important. So governance really need a key play when it comes to that aspect of poverty alleviation. Very important.
All right, not to bore with too many goodies, just to let you know, we'll be discussing very important issues today. We'll be looking at the internally generated revenue of states in Nigeria. It's been said that some states have done really poorly, but the 7 viable states, which are like Lagos, Ogun, Delta, Kaduna, Kwara, joint the amount of money they have generated is doubles what the other 29 states have generated. It means we just have 7 viable states that have been hardworking, that do not depend solely on the federal allocations they get monthly. And for you, how does that commentary?
It only shows
7 states out of 36.
No, it speaks volume. Like it speaks so much volume that those
7 states generate 1.8 trillion
compared to other states. It shows combined. That they're working. It shows they're working. It shows that they're true to their word. It shows that they're patriotic. It shows that they want to carry everyone along. It shows that they're there to work for the people and not for themselves. That speaks a lot of volume. Like 7 states. That's compared to 36. No. 29
states apart from
Yes, exactly. Compared to that, it's really sad. But at the same time, I'm happy because at least that's a step in the right direction. That's like an exemplary thing for others to follow.
All right, just for you to know that Bayelsa, one of the oil-producing states, Bayelsa, Akwa Ibom, and also the former state of the past president, Muhammadu Buhari, that's talking about Katsina. Those 3 states are worse off in terms of they were not able to generate up to 10% of IGR for 2022. It's very sad.
Very sad.
Ex-president to president.
I'm telling you, and that's their state. Like,
so what does that mean?
You're supposed to set a pace. Like you're the president.
And the Senate president, current Senate president state is also one of the poor states in terms of IGR.
It is so sad. It is so sad. Like the good books always says, remove the log from your eyes before you remove the log from another. Like truly, charity starts from home. You have to start from your home front before you can impact whatever values you want to impact on others. It is so sad. When I read that, it's really sad. Katsina, Bayelsa, are you kidding me right now?
And you've got affiliation with Bayelsa.
Yes, exactly. Very funny, Anthony.
I had to chip that in.
To put me in the spot. Well,
all right, I'm happy, like they say, doing the carry last, like we say in Nigeria. This is one of the 7 viable states.
It's okay, Anthony. Don't rub it in.
All right, so it's going to be fun all the way on today's show. Like we always do, make sure we make your money truly amazing. And I think we've got something in store for them.
Yes, we have. When it comes to taste and texture, we have business segments, we have sports, and lots of interesting topics will be coming to your airwaves, for you to watch today. I'm sure it's exciting.
I think just to hit the moment up a little bit, we've made you laugh a lot. Since we do not have serious exercise for you, I'll probably throw in some sports news to get them excited.
Yes, okay, yes,
all right,
sports
so
news.
We're going to throw in some sports news to get you excited. And when you come back, we dish out the other menu just for you. Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Global Morning Sports News Update. Let's give you the big story from the boxing world. Deontay Wilder has fired an early shot at rival Anthony Joshua by claiming that the British boxer has lost the respect he once had among fellow heavyweight fighters. The pair are on a collision course and could finally go head-to-head next year, providing they can each win their bout on the exciting The Day of Reckoning card taking place in Saudi Arabia on December 23rd. Wilder will be taking on experienced Joseph Parker, while Joshua will look to conquer his southpaw demons against Otto Wallin. The 38-year-old, who last fought over a year ago, reckoned that Joshua's defeat to Alexander Usyk have seen him lose his standing within the heavyweight division, and explains why the likes of Jarrell Miller have been confident enough to fire insults his way. Let's talk some golf as Victor Hovland admits he can't blame the likes of Jon Rahm for defecting to LIV Golf, given the great deal of arrogance of PGA Tour bosses. The Norwegian suggested he has no plans to join them on the Rebel Tour, despite hinting that PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan and co, rather than the players, are to blame for the split in the game. Rahm became the latest high-profile defection earlier this month, with the Spaniard joining LIV in an eye-watering $500 million deal that has prompted speculation as to whether Hovland will be the next to jump ship. Hovland is the reigning FedEx Cup champion after 3 wins in 2022 to 2023. He recently committed to half a dozen events over the coming months, including the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am and WM Phoenix Open. And talking the round letter game, let's tell you that Inter Milan legend and Vice President Javier Zanetti was forced to plead with security to be allowed in to watch the Champions League last 16 draw after forgetting his accreditation footage has emerged of the former Argentinian defender attempting to enter the event at UEFA's headquarters in Lyon. The security official outside the draw is heard requesting Zanetti's accreditation before permitting the Inter official to enter the room. Zanetti was seen without his credential to enter the draw, with the former defender initially looking exacerbated at being denied entry. The 50-year-old was heard talking to the official to insist he was a vice president of Inter. Other officials then stepped in to plead the case of Inter's record appearance maker, who represented the club for 858 times in total, including 159 times in the Champions League. And moving on to Porto, let's tell you that Pepe was sent off as Porto lost a crunch Premier League clash with Sporting Lisbon on Monday night. The 40-year-old, known as one of football's hot-headed figures, was dismissed early in the second half after lashing out at Sporting wing-back Matheus Reis. Reis crashed into the back of Pepe as he positioned the ball for a free kick in his own half, and the defender swung his arm out, catching his opponent in the face. Pepe looked furious as Reis collapsed to the floor holding his face, and after a VR check, the Porto centre-back was sent off after receiving his marching orders for the 16th time in his career. He sarcastically clapped the referee and laughed to himself, while he might claim to have retaliated for Reis steaming in to the back of him. It is hard to justify swinging his arm into the Sporting man's face. And that's how we call it a wrap on the Sports News Update. I am Anthony Momodu.
Puff Puff, a very popular West African...
Welcome to Global Morning.
The death toll from flooding.
Most time our politicians just bring in policies to, for sure.
Incidentally, we have several more stories.
The legislature was carefully crafted to
22.2% inflation.
You're welcome back, and of course this is Global Morning on Global Television, and we are here in the mood of celebration, and it's been a fun day so far. Okay, is it too early to judge?
No, it's amazing. Like they say in African proverb, you know how beautiful it is going to be from the beginning.
From the beginning, yes, of course.
Amazing already.
I'm still in the mood. We're starting our celebration mood very early. Today is a Wednesday, so Tuesday.
Wednesday is my favorite day. Wednesday, yeah. It's the middle of the
week.
And why I fell in love with Wednesday was when I was younger. There was always sports program on Wednesday, so that's why I fell in love with Wednesday. So happy
All
day.
right, now let's go to the topic of the day. And if you're wondering what's IGR, is internal generated revenue, and we're still looking at internal generated revenue of the 7 states that you mentioned when it comes
viable
to
states,
viable states who generated a lot of revenue for their states compared to the 29 other states who did not, which is very, very, in fact, I have no words to show, no words. Is it that other states, the 29 states, were not earning anything? They weren't bringing back
They were, but what he meant was that most of them, out of that 29, we barely had like 8 of them could not, 6 of them couldn't raise up to 10% of internal generated revenue, and that's very poor, because what it means is that those 6 states can barely survive without those federal allocations that come monthly, and I guess that tells us why some of those states can barely pay salaries.
You know, some of the states, it's pay as you earn.
Yes, that's how it goes. Yeah.
Pay as you earn, like once you pay, that's what you actually earn. So is it that they were not earning much, or allocations were not given enough, or taxes were not being collected? It's so sad to see.
It means the spend drift of the government was very bad. It also means that their tax systems were not efficient, because what it means, if you are supposed to be taxing XY companies in your state, it means when the monies are collected, it's not remitted appropriately to the state government, or the collection model is faulty. So it means some people get away without paying taxes. So that could be another factor why. Then also, you know, in terms of taxes, you tax productive sectors. So if you're not taxing productive sectors, then you're barely going to get anything. Let's imagine you're taxing artisans who get money per day, maybe 1,000 naira, and leave those who got the mighty malls and shops. Then definitely you're not going to be able to generate anything. So it means corruption is also a factor.
Yeah, corruption is a factor for those other states not to generate up to 10%. It's really sad. It's really, really sad. It means the states are not moving forward at all. So I'm sure 7 other states who their IGR was relatively high and can sustain and support themselves can set a pace for others to follow. That's credibility when it comes to picking out your governors and
true. Decide who governs.
It shows credibility.
And I think it's another good factor is the fact that we've got Lagos State as one of the states, or the state who is leading the drive. So what does that tell us when we see the Lagos State is the state leading in terms of you know?
Have you been to Lagos?
Yes, I've been to
And
Lagos.
you see all of those structures that are there. You see everything put in place in Lagos. Everything is working hand on. So believe me when I say I am not surprised. What is shocking me is Katsina and Bayelsa, who cannot generate up to 10%. These are states of our
and oil-producing states. For that.
Bayelsa, you're supposed to generate a lot of income.
The funny thing, Bayelsa is not that large in terms of population and even in mass. It's a riverine area.
Yes, it is.
I served in Bayelsa 2005, 2006. It's one way in, one way out.
I'm quarter Bayelsa.
And it's amazing that, but I'm not surprised, because the people in Bayelsa, they tend to have this attitude of spending a lot. It's all about money sharing. So if you look at even the political space, it's all about what's kill and divide. What we get from the government, we share. That's why you see there's restiveness in that state. And most times you see oil-producing companies say, okay, they give X amount of money to their leaders for development in certain areas, and it doesn't work. So it means the leaders of Bayelsa, the Niger Delta, has a lot of work to do. Also, if you throw into the mix the fact that there's this NDDC, which is the Niger Development Commission, which is supposed to help develop the region, and the fact that it also has its own budget that is given to NDDC. So the question is, so what are you doing? Why can't you generate revenues even when you have the NDDC behind you? You have the oil producing companies, international.
Yes, there to actually invest. And yes, international bodies are particular when it comes to bios. So I am shocked that they are not generating anything. It's really sad to see. That means there's a lot of corruption coming into play when it comes to that, and most people are not paying tax. So how do we? How can the government come in now? That means we have to start going in and ranking and checking all of these international bodies that come into the States. I'm just giving my own opinion. In case, come into the States and be sure that they're actually paying tax and doing the needful when it comes to coming into a foreign country and investing. Because it's really sad. An oil-producing state, seriously.
Very sad. And
very sad.
The seven viable states, as the ranking goes, we've got Lagos first, so that's kudos. Congratulations to Lagos. Then we have Ogun State, very close to Lagos, so you understand why.
I understand.
Then you've got Rivers State coming really close,
my goodness.
Representing the Niger Delta people. And Kaduna, another home state for me there.
Have you been to Kaduna recently?
That's what they call, when you're from Kaduna, there's this term we use, I'm trying to remember.
There is no term, Anthony.
No. My producer tells me indigene, but there's another funky word we use. That's my producer, Yusuf, there. Thank you, Yusuf. Yusuf trying to make sure breakfast is getting smooth. Yeah, but when you're from KD, we call it KD, the Crocodile City, right? There's something amazing about people from KD. It's amazing. It's a lovely place to be. I lived in the South for a long time, but when I came to KD, I think that's where I discovered myself. So KD is next. We've got Kwara State. We've got Oyo. And then we've got Edo, the last, no, not last, first from the bottom.
Are you kidding me? That's been very partial.
So those are the seven states that are leading in terms of
really
the generation of funds.
It shows dedication, it shows hard work.
But Lagos beat them by a mile, 650 billion. Jeez, Lagos is on fire. I think that's why we're very confident. Our president, Bola Tinubu, who set the pace in Lagos State, he's going to do that for Nigeria as a whole. So, Mr. President, from Global Television, we're saying, do what he did in Lagos to Nigeria. We desperately need it. And I think that's something amazing. So we're looking forward to, we're going to have a very fine discussion, hopefully at the top of the hour by 9 a.m. We'll be having one of Nigeria's finest economists in the person of Ali Shatta. He's also very fine, so he's going to give us fine things, both physically and upstairs intellectually. So, and I know you said we've got some other interesting things.
Yes, I mentioned we have taste and texture. Which
what are we going to be feeling today?
I cannot let the cat out of the bag.
Yes.
I have to make you salivate.
Oh boy!
You have to, I have to keep you wanting to. I just want to keep you guessing.
Okay, I thought you were saying wanting more, and wanting more food.
More food.
Don't get it twisted.
But are you a foodie, like really?
I think so, technically. I met someone who made me start eating so much because she was so good in cooking, and I used to think I didn't like food until I met her, and she's been super amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a queen from somewhere.
Okay.
Don't ask me her name.
I will not, please. Too much information.
All right, so in case you're just joining us, you're watching Africa's Finest Breakfast Show. It's a Global Morning on Global Television. If you've not found us yet and then you've been on a long thing, like we say in Nigeria. We're on channel 276 on Star Times. That's where you're going to find us, and you get the very best every morning as we dish out the very big stories making the rounds in Nigeria, in the world, and in the African continent. That's to remind you that there's going to be a paper review segment. We'll be looking at big stories.
We'll be looking at big stories today. A lot of big stories we'll be looking at today. So I hope it's going to be a time to earn and be well informed today. And also don't forget, today's International Human Solidarity Day, a time for, let's just promote peace as Nigerians, despite the various states, tribes, morals in which we share. Let's just come together and celebrate today as one.
All right, and aside doing that, make sure the debate is on as regards how to eradicate poverty. Very important we do that. All right, at 7:30 prompt, we're going to be having the news, AM news, and it's going to be taken by Oyi. Let me put it to the test. Oyi,
Agbamafugbe.
Hey, yeah.
Agbamafugbe, like, hello.
We had that bet.
Hello, like, seriously.
Yeah, we're going to be having
Agbamafugbe will be here. So.
Amazing. He's going to be giving us all the big stories making it around. Yeah, I just wanted to put you on the spot.
Seriously, you can't.
Because I'm not good at that stuff. So I just wanted to catch you. All right, since we talked about IGR, she told us IGR meant internally generated revenue.
Yes.
For those who don't know, it's economic expert tells us that the best way you can generate, especially for those states, the 29 states that are playing catch up to Lagos State, the best way you can do that is to have an aggressive diversification of the economy, and also to pushing for productive sectors, invest in productive sectors. That's the way you can improve your IGR.
And also to add to that, pay your tax.
True.
Pay your tax.
True. So that the government will have the funds to repair the roads.
Yes, exactly.
To equip the hospitals.
To allocate, yes, very important. Pay your tax. And of course, the government has a lot of role to play, but as a Nigerian, you have that role you have to play also.
Sure.
Please pay your tax.
And also for the security agencies, the ICPCs, anti-graft agencies, for those who do not pay their taxes, for the Federal Inland Revenue, this is your job. Make sure you go out there, get Nigerians, get the big companies to pay their taxes, and if they don't, you have the security agencies by your side to get them arrested.
And there is also a process on paying of tax. The body is actually coming on board to ensure that people pay their tax, so there is no escape route. So definitely Nigerians will definitely, and of course those big companies will definitely be paying their tax.
Yes, you have to pay your taxes. It's for the good of Nigerians. All right, we'll go for a very quick break. On that break session, we will have
quick facts.
Yeah, quick facts. Then the news, AM news, where you get the big stories. Make sure you don't miss. Stay with us. Global Morning just started.